Alrighty, we are going to start by talking about the Discord server. So this server originally started so that way we could help people who either haven't turned in a Woodie Flowers submission before, or they aren't sure where to continue with their essay. They wanted some more general help because we felt that it would be a really good way to honor, and it's just a really cool thing. Right. So we do ask that you put in an introduction, although that is not mandatory. When you first, we also do ask that you will take on some roles and things like that. We have all of our channels, announcement channels, as well as generals, and then our different help channels. So one of the reasons why we wanted to do this is so that way we could help some other teams. Let's hide that. Thank you. So the whole point of the server is so that way you can get help as well as you can help others. We felt that it would be a really great way to honor this amazing award, and it's just a really cool thing that we wanted to get started.
Welcome to the Woodie Flowers Workshop. My name is Maya Takavi, and we are part of FRC957 Electric Mayhem. So before we start, we're just going to start off by saying that the chat will be disabled. And all questions that you might have is going to go through the Q&A section of the Google Meet, which is in the lower right corner. And the icon kind of looks like this image on the bottom. The meeting will be recorded to post on YouTube for all teams that could not physically attend or have access to this meeting. So who are we? Well, we are FRC957. And as I said before, we are based out of Buffalo, New York. And this is our 12th season. And over the 12 seasons, we've received Woodie Flowers 4 times, and 3 times were just in the past 3 years. So for those who don't know what Woodie Flowers is as a nomination, as an award, this is just straight out of the First Inspires website, and the key points are highlighted here. So take a minute to read that. And so when we read what the Woodie Flowers essay is and what the nomination is as a whole, we pointed out 3 main points that we should be writing what we should be putting in when we write the Woodie Flowers nomination. And so the first one is personality, and the second one is their commitment to FIRST, and the third one is their commitment to the community. So the work that they do outside of being on your team. So what does that process look like for us? So the process first consists of bullet points, and all the bullet points are divided into sections. And when those sections and paragraphs are written, then they are reordered and then cut down for word count. So we are going to look at a winning submission and Mr. Coburn's submission, who's sitting right next to me. So this is what a winning submission looks like. And we highlighted it in the same colors that we did in the submission, just so you know that yellow is personality, green is commitment to FIRST, and then blue is a commitment outside of FIRST. So when you're writing this essay, it's really, really important to keep in mind that although a page and a little bit might seem like a lot, this is the only insight that the judges have to knowing who your mentor is, who are they like, what do they do, and stuff like that. So you have to strategically line up your paragraphs in a way that it's not going to be talking about their personalities for 5 paragraphs in a row and then start introducing about what they do in FIRST. So that's why you see here that the colors are kind of alternating in a way, because we are going back and forth between personality, what they do outside, what they do inside, and stuff like that. So as you can see here, we have our intro and our outro, and our intro and outro don't really place a hard part into what they do in a FIRST and what they do. It's just an introduction of who they are as a holistic review. I think we should go and see what the process is like we just talked about. Okay, so this is our current nominee's essay, and he just left, so it's okay that we're showing this and no one's watching it. But so as you see here, we have the topics. So we have first impressions, what we like about Mr. Kubanek, what he does with our team, and then we have funny moments, quotes, stuff like that.
I want to see this.
Oh, sorry. Funny moments, and then related to him, and then the quotes that we integrate. We usually only integrate 1 or 2 quotes, only because it's really overwhelming to like read quote and quote back to back. So usually you want to pick 2 or 3 good quotes that you want to put in, and then keep it that as your cap maximum of quotes. So for possible openings, you can see that there's a bunch of bullet points and then a blurb of a paragraph. So we're going to use this as an example. So the bullet points that we wanted to put in our possible opening is just some head openers. It's supposed to be a little bit goofy, a little bit of personality like. Because our team is electric themed, we usually either put the sentence as the first thing that is really resonating to them. So in past years, we were nominating a mentor that was pursuing her PhD in chemical engineering. So what we did was for the first sentence, we had a little funny sentence about atoms and how she was like the thing that keeps us all together. But yeah, this is a little bit inside of the process. So you can see that we took a few bullet points and we took the main idea of what the bullet points meant, and then we put it into an entire paragraph. So as you can see that it's not, the possible openings isn't the entire paragraph. We also included a little bit of like a funny moment, like when he was running around and cheering a 4930 flag at our local regional competition. And it was basically just an intro paragraph you get a little bit of his personality, you also get a little bit of how he affects our team, but this is just kind of more summary like to what's gonna come for the rest of our paragraph. All over we have little tiny paragraphs of his personality. So he's a super enthusiastic, super talkative person. He's super supportive. One of the things he's most known for is that he basically runs around and he goes wherever you need him to. And so this essay is kind of more targeted towards that kind of personality where there's a lot of flexibility in the way he mentors. Even if he doesn't really know much about the topic, he's willing to dive right in. And so that's also highlighted in these paragraphs. And obviously there's a lot of overlapping. A lot of different people are writing different paragraphs, and then a lot of overlapping on different qualities that we admire about him. And that's all going to be smushed together and then cut down for word count over time. And what's really important is to not let just one person write and submit the Woodie Flowers essay. I legit can't stress this enough, but putting this on one person is a lot of hard work. Not one person can see all the good and all the possibly numerous of things your mentor is doing. You have to have input from a lot of different people, from a lot of different sub teams, possibly different mentors, and just ask the person himself or themselves why they continue to do robotics, what drives them to be on this team and do the work that they do. The work that they do with FIRST and the work that they do outside of the community. And that is a must in putting within this essay, because that is the main thing that they are kind of grading on when they read these kinds of essays, is how are they contributing to FIRST? How is this mentor being recognized, and what is this mentor doing in their work inside of their community, inside of the FIRST community, and also the community outside. So their commitment outside of the time that they're dedicating to the team. So that's what kind of this section is about. You can see that he was part of the inaugural team that went to Worlds on our 4930 team, and he was his programmer senior year, and he did all these super cool stuff. And then what is really cool is that he came back to mentor and mentoring the programming and impact team this year. So going on to the next set of bullet points, this is just a bunch of funny memories that we have with him. He's a super outgoing type of guy, and he's not really ashamed of anything he does. He's a very put forth, like, if what he does is a little bit funny, he's gonna do it. Like the very first thing we mentioned was he ran around with a 4930 flag across the entire area of the regional just to cheer our team on when we were on the field. And then there's some inspirational quotes that we picked up with him throughout preseason and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good insight onto what our process is like. And as I said before, all these paragraphs, these aren't finalized paragraphs at all. We're gonna take a little crew of students and kind of rearrange these paragraphs so they logistically make sense, so they make sense reading it, and they holistically, and they go together, and then write the ending paragraph to what that should be. I think we can start to go to answering questions if anyone has any.
Raise a hand or Q&A.
Yeah, either type in the Q&A chat, and then we can go from there.
Alrighty. Good job. Thank you guys. Let's just say that they gave an amazing presentation. If you missed it, there's always the Discord server, and they have a lot of amazing resources. You can always ask for help, stuff like that. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Alrighty, thank you everybody so much for coming today. Like we said earlier, this will be recorded and posted on different YouTube channels. Yes.
Thank you all
we want to
for
touch on? Yeah, thank you guys for coming and listening to us. Yeah. Have a good day, you guys.